Welcome back to another video of our trip to the Mekong Delta in Vietnam.
Hello.
Today's day 6 and we're super psyched up to tell you that we're finally able to head to Can Tho, the capital city of Southwest Vietnam. This city is the hidden gem that most visitors when traveling in Vietnam don't want to miss out on, as it embodies the uniqueness of the entire region and can exceed their expectations in so many aspects.
Okay, that's good.
For this video, we'll stay here for 2 days and show you some of the best places to visit in Can Tho city. One of them is Gai Rang Floating Market, known as one of the oldest and most bustling floating markets in the world.
Perfectly ripe pineapple.
We'll also learn about the incredibly friendly local lifestyles and how people make some of their delicacies here.
There we go. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So, this trip will be a quest for a change in cultural perspective and a sojourn to relax in this city.
A quick recap of our trip. In the past 6 days, we rode 282 kilometers and visited 5 different provinces. The special vibes, experiences, and lessons we got in each of these places really helped make this trip so memorable, fun, and liberating. As a Vietnamese born and raised here, I never thought I still had so much to learn about my motherland until this trip. Just this afternoon, we learned about this beautifully elaborate pagoda for its architecture and a few things about the Khmer people. You have no idea how much this knowledge intrigued me, so if you haven't watched that video, go see it for yourself. Alrighty, so our trip to this pagoda is coming to an end. Now it's time for us to go back, not go back, but to go to another city, which is called Can Tho. It's one of the 2 biggest cities in the entire south region of Vietnam. Let's go!
From the pagoda, we'll have a ride for a bit over 2 hours for a distance of 77 kilometers to get to Can Tho. A few important things to know about this city. In 2004, it became one of the 5 municipalities due to being the center of economy, culture, healthcare, and education of the Mekong Delta. Although the city is smaller than all of the provinces in the region with an area of around 1,400 square kilometers, it's the 4th largest city in the entire country. There are about 1.2 million Vietnamese living across its 9 urban and rural districts. Being right in the center of the Mekong Delta and only 169 kilometers from Ho Chi Minh City, this so-called Western metropolis is super accessible for visitors to experience the typical Southwestern Vietnamese culture.
This road trip is taken at the latest time so far. We didn't get started until almost 5 p.m. and now it's around 6, so it's getting dark fast. But we're not too worried about it because we're having a good time, enjoying the road trip.
I've been seeing a lot of interesting things. Like, I absolutely love how a lot of the villages are overgrown with vegetation. It is honestly surreal. One problem throughout this entire road trip. You know what it is?
Not being able to have any washroom accessible when needed.
I don't mind like finding a small place, but the problem is a lot of the places have squat toilets, and I am not squatting.
We pulled over here to change the battery for the camera and take a moment to soak in this beautiful sunset. And I'm pretty sure that if you are in a car, you won't be able to see anything like this.
Maybe you could out the front windshield, but it wouldn't be as spectacular.
This is one of the advantages when riding a scooter, as you can stop when needed. Notice how small but somewhat busy the road is? Yeah, you can't pull a car over on the side of this road. And honestly, I don't know what they are planting over there, but that field is humongous.
They're probably planting some sort of like bean or other climbing crop, because you can see all of the trestles, right? And they need to be supported by something.
We saw lots of crops like this on the way. They help make up the rural vibes that we enjoy so much. Back on the road, it's now totally dark and we're only 1 hour out. Honestly, it's not easy to man the scooter through some accident-prone areas because our scooter's headlight isn't bright enough and trucks go crazy, overtaking each other on both sides, leaving us little to no room at all. We went off the road to let them pass several times and it's very dangerous, so make sure your bike has a strong headlight so you can see and be seen when on a road like this at night.
Despite all that, it didn't take us long to enter the city and navigate our hotel.
Alright, so I just got the key to get into the room and now let's check the room out. Oh, nice.
This room only costs $15 a night and it looks pretty comfortable and clean. Here, we're recharging ourselves after a long day, making sure we have a full tank to spend tomorrow. Our day starts with a few pieces of good news. First,
I would like to tell you guys that I have a friend who I've known for ages, for years. She texted me if we ever visited this place, her hometown, we should just reach out to her and she's gonna be our tour guide. And to be honest with you guys, I've never seen or met anyone who was so excited like her about us coming to their place like this.
also, we finally had our clothes washed the second time during this trip.
So yesterday I brought all of our dirty clothes down to the reception here in this hotel to ask them to wash all of them. And now they're all good and dry and clean, and I'm so happy because yesterday it made me feel so gross when I saw how dirty my jacket was.
And not to mention, the road coming to this city was wet and muddy, so everything is caked in mud. I swear, they're not always like this.
After putting on clean clothes, we're now headed out to meet up with our friend Lucy at a coffee shop.
So excited for breakfast and the market.
After drinking our favorite type of coffee, café sữa đá, while discussing where to head up for our first day here, Lucy led us around some interesting areas, like this waterfront right next to Can Tho Bridge and this market located right next to Ho River.
They have a lot of fruit and other things at this market.
It's a pretty large market and a frequent place for many locals when shopping for groceries. Markets like this are more preferred than supermarkets or stores due to the massive array of options and competitive prices. They have everything, including things we've never seen before.
Yeah, Lucy brought us here because this is the market where she and her family buy daily food from. For her, it's a part of what makes Can Tho livelier and more distinct. I quickly caught on to the idea of how much this place meant to her when she was enthusiastically walking us to each shop around here. All of the people are so friendly and filming seems quite easy. Yet, Lucy still asked every one of them if it was okay for us to film, though she might not know them at all. This polite gesture made people even more approachable. Some even brought their stuff close to our camera so we could film better.
How do you tell what's a good one?
Cái quả này là rất là ngon nè.
Not only that looks so good, but then it's also sweet.
Have your wallet?
Here. Even though like Madi already got my wallet, but she doesn't let Madi pay for the guava.
This gesture is part of the people's culture here. When they see you as their good friend, they'll offer you things sincerely without civility. No matter how rich they are, a majority of them live a very simple lifestyle with the things they do and eat. When in a mutually good and respectful friendship, they'll show you their best hospitality and sincerity. So don't be too overwhelmed if you come across a situation. Just take it to heart and wait for your turn to do the same thing.
Walking around here is completely different from in a supermarket, as you get to interact with people more. To sell here, they have to rent one of these kiosks to display their stock. There are from 1 to 2 people who are in charge of a kiosk, especially during their busy time. Right now, it's 11:30 and we don't see many buyers. If we make it here in an early time, we're gonna be able to see much more than just all of the stuff that we've been showing you guys around. Alright, let us show you around. These baby soft shell turtles here are trinicotine. Buyers don't eat them when they're babies like these, so they would raise them till they're a lot bigger to be turned into food. We have another type of turtle here too, some catfish of different sizes. Apparently, this one right here just doesn't accept its fate. Too bad, not today. Some red tilapias. Oh, These are not snakes, okay? They're eels. This reminds me of the dish we ate before in Saigon, and it was always Madi's favorite when we still lived there. Don't know why I looked at these things and it just kept conjuring up images of suitable dishes in my head, except for the turtles though. I can't eat them cause they're pets to me. And these snakes too, cause I hate them. If you watched our very first video of this southwest trip to the floating village in Long An, you'd remember these tiny fish. At the end of that trip, we ate a hot pot with it. They can't grow any bigger and are uneasy to catch though. That's why they're an expensive delicacy.
Man, this is actually so interesting to see like all of the fish and other things available here.
Along with all of the types of protein, they have a myriad of options for vegetables.
The one that you are seeing right now is the slimy vegetables.
Its real name in English is Malabar spinach. These leaves are good for hot pots and soups. Over here, they have some mustard greens, one of the most nutritious foods as they're rich in fiber and micronutrients. Oh yeah, 90% of you guys probably haven't seen this one before. It's called cowslip creeper and is often used to stir fry with beef slices or made in a soup. One last type I'd love to introduce to any hot pot fans out there is the aquatic plant stems of water mimosa. It's a perennial type of plant, so people here don't worry about ever running out of it as long as they have water around. Just like water morning glory, these stems are delicious in seafood hot pots.
Keep getting distracted.
Got distracted for a little bit. We're buying some coconuts right now and let's see how skillful the lady is at cutting and chopping all of the coconut. Wow, that knife is so sharp. She's using that knife and she's like just cutting it. Ngon, delicious.
Go, 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 hurry.
Trời, sao chị nhanh quá vậy? Once again, she didn't let me pay for the coconut.
I guess you gotta be quicker.
She's chopping a sprouting coconut and this is what's inside. It's called a coconut embryo. Try.
I'll take the little one then. I don't know, it doesn't taste like much to me.
Some say these embryos are delicious, but not so much in our case.
I'm not a fan of it, so I don't want it.
Sprouting coconuts are used for their meat. But first, they have to grind the meat up like this to later turn it into coconut milk, an important ingredient in a lot of dishes. Now is our time to eat the coconut meat using the diagonal cut from the shell.
Look at that, it's a nice little roll. Okay. I like the squishy texture. It feels really gelatinous. It's not too sweet, but it's good. I don't want something that's like overly sweet. I just want something neutral.
Man, this one works wonders. I think it's even more effective than a metal spoon.
After this quick market tour, it's time for our lunch. On our way to this restaurant, it started to rain pretty hard, so we had no choice but to pull over into a cafe and sit there for a bit. Then we pulled here to pick up a durian, my favorite fruit of all time. Here, they allowed us to taste the meat before buying, so we couldn't go wrong.
It's really sweet, tender and everything. That's awesome.
It's really nice and respectful the way they packed it for us, right? Back to the restaurant. This restaurant is named Hồi Đó, meaning the old days in English.
So they have like a lot of areas and the majority of them are sitting out there in the main area of the entire restaurant. But we decided to locate our table inside here. So I'm just gonna let our local Lord do the job. It's just, yeah, I call her a local Lord. That means that she knows a lot about all the dishes and where to go. And this is the main reason why this €5 restaurant has become a favorite spot for so many patrons. Remember what we saw at the market earlier? At this restaurant, you can see how those raw ingredients become delicious and yummy looking food like these.
Okay, I am ready to eat. I'm really hungry right now.
The simplicity of the ingredients is one thing, but their creative cooking styles are really what you're here to experience. Highly recommended if you visit this city. We'll leave their link down in the description. Lucy ordered 7 dishes in total, and it's a lot of food for only 3 of us. While enjoying the food, she started telling us about an ancient house as one of the most prominent attractions. This 150-year-old house is famous for many reasons. Not only it was where several movies were shot, but its old and unique architecture along with lots of antiques in the house is what appeals to many people.
From the restaurant, it only took us 20 minutes to get to the house.
We have to pay for a ticket in order to be able to get in.
There was no way we knew this was an old house by looking at the entrance. And this is exactly why people come here. Just like them, we're here to be shocked by and amazed at how the heck this house was built in 1870 and still has that modern look. So how rich this family was? Let's figure it out.
Right after we got in, we encountered this 3-entrance gate which holds a religious meaning in Vietnamese Buddhism and is deemed to be inspired by Chinese architectural styles. So this well-preserved relic is a delicate blend of Eastern and Western architectural elements, reflecting the family's wealth and cultural exposure. So this house was built by a guy who was one of the richest landlords in this entire region of Vietnam. The garden in front of this house has many of these plumeria plants with beautiful flowers. These are Mexican cacti that were said to be 60 years old and could grow up to be 12 meters high.
I kind of like it how it's spiky. So it has like the thorns and then the beautiful flower above. So cool.
This whole thing here is a miniature landscaping complex that has a rockery in the shape of a mountain surrounded by a pond in mimicry of a river with fish in it.
And then at the very, very top, there's a little Buddha statue right there.
It's a type of art based on geomancy, intended to bring in good luck to the owner, and it costs quite a bit to afford.
So when you're coming into this place, the first thing that you have to do is remove your shoes. And then right as soon as you walk in, all of the signs say, please do not sit on the furniture. That's really important to know. And if you're going to take photos in here, be sure to ask for permission first. Otherwise, you can get into trouble.
This ancient house was constructed by the 3rd generation of the Yung family to use as an ancestor worshipping shrine. 30 years after, it was rebuilt by this guy, the 4th generation. The guy up there is actually the original owner, the guy who built this house. His name is Dương Chấn Kỷ. He studied abroad in France, so no wonder the house is accentuated very strongly by French architecture. Since then, it has been managed by the Yung family as a treasure trove of history, culture, and architectural elegance. And his 7th generation is right there. He's sitting over there.
What?
That is his 7th generation.
Wow, and this guy's chill with us filming?
Yes. He doesn't call this place, this house, his, but it's just like a mutual property that he and his gigantic family, like after generations, have been trying to protect and preserve so that people would come and know more about this place. This ancient house was recognized by the Vietnamese Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism as a national level artistic monument.
The house of this most affluent family hosts a treasury of priceless artifacts and antiques. Everything here is arranged symmetrically using rules in geomancy to cultivate good luck for the family. This is why stories say after building this unique house, the guy's business took off much more drastically. For antique enthusiasts out there, this whole house is for sure a place to come and enjoy the beauty of the products of the past.
Nothing is missing a detail, and that's amazing.
Many renowned films have been filmed here, and the biggest one of all is The Lover in 1992 by a French director named Jean-Jacques Annaud. Link to its trailer in the description if you're interested.
All right.
And this house is also the last spot of our first day in the city. On our way back to the hotel, we also had a chance to wash up our super reliable scooter too. We take care of it so it can take care of us throughout Vietnam, you know?
Good morning, everyone. So right now it is 4:30 in the morning.
Oops.
And we are getting ready to head to the floating market. Now, the reason we are up so early is because the best time to go to the floating market is early in the morning.
Around this early time, we're expecting to see such a frenetic environment with lots and lots of activities. A lot of boats, rowing boats, as well as motor boats going back and forth to transport cargo and also materials, so that there's gonna be a lot of like selling and buying All right, now it's time for us to go. And for our trip today, our friend is still coming over in order to be our tour guide.
So let's go down and meet her.
Yeah, it's still dark out because it's only 5 in the morning. It's not only the perfect time to go to the floating market, but it's also the perfect time to go around and enjoy some fresh air. So what time is it now? It's probably like 5, right?
Too early.
This market looks exactly like the one that we went yesterday, but since yesterday we went to that market at a late time, so we didn't see like a lot of like selling and buying activities as opposed to how it is right now. You see, like very early in the morning, it's just 5:30 in the morning, and look how many people are here. Adjacent to the market that we just went through.
This river is named after the city Can Tho, and it's part of the Mekong River. The floating market is only 600 meters from the bridge, but to get there, we need a boat.
I think there are a lot of changes to this floating market, and if you don't have like a tour or you don't have like a tour guide with you, it's going to be a little bit of a headache to find a boat in order to get to the market itself. So I'm glad that we are
Having a local as a tour guide.
exactly. She's been like doing all of the negotiation, talking, and arrangement. The reason that you have to put a life vest on is because it's regulated. You have to, otherwise the man who's manning this whole boat is gonna be fined.
There are a few other passengers accompanying us to the market today. On a good day, the whole boat is probably packed with people due to the popularity of the place. The reason many people don't want to miss out on this spot is that it's recognized as a national intangible cultural heritage and ranked as the 9th most impressive market in the world by Rough Guides, an award-winning traveling website. Existing for over a century, this floating market is a convergent point for people to buy and sell a myriad array of goods. The business happening on this part of the river right here goes beyond a regular market. From retailing to wholesaling, you can find it all here.
Sellers here don't have to yell out their products. Big boats have their wares hung on poles or masts, so you can see what they have available from afar. For example, this boat right here is selling pineapples, and this one has pomelos. These are just hanging out on the boat and not for sale. With small boats, they just go like this.
I already saw one floating house that turned out to be a restaurant.
Besides produce selling boats in different sizes, there are also many floating restaurants. Some are made out of a boat, providing foods, soft drinks, snacks, or even cigarettes.
Oh, there's Durian. So someone's probably buying Durian.
Yeah, there's no way Madi could miss that. She's always a Durian lunatic, you know. Along with all of the merchants, visitors and other market goers account for a large number of boats that make this area even more crowded. We finally arrived at a good part of the market. Here, we're pulling in to have some breakfast. Do you want to go experience?
I think I want to sit. It makes me nervous to walk across.
Okay, I'll hop on this restaurant boat to see what's going on. This is the main area of the restaurant, the floating restaurant, serving a lot of types of noodles, and we have some steam that comes up from all of those pots. We have the broth, with 2 types of broth, and a lot of meats and proteins on the side, lots of herbs, dried salads, and dried garlic over there. Kumquat, of course. I told you guys before how frenetic and full of activity and energy this place is. Everybody stopped over to have their breakfast here.
Man, this noodle bowl looks so yummy. We call it crab noodles because there are some crab meatballs in here. I highly recommend you try one of these bowls when being on a boat here too, because this experience is awesome and unique. There's no impression of any sanitization issues, as from time to time, you'll see the sellers eat it too. That's how we navigate trust around here. After breakfast, we quickly hop on to this floating shop to see what they have. and then we're heading to another selling boat for some pineapples. These tires hanging all around the boat to prevent damage when bumping into each other. What a smart idea!
Thank you. All right, so we have a very sweet and perfect pineapple. Perfectly ripe pineapple. I like how they kept part of the stem too. It's kind of like a handle. So the first thing that I noticed is like all of the people that are either driving the boats or stationed at some of the entry points, they're super helpful and nice. So I am terrified of going from one boat to another boat, like stepping on and off, because it's so shaky and you never know if it's gonna suddenly separate or who knows. So I was like super nervous, and they noticed that, and so they'll like take my hand and guide me through, because I'm one of those wimpy people, I guess.
We got back onto our boat.
The last spot we'll go visit in Can Tho is a noodle making place. Lucy told us that this hidden gem has become pretty famous for its products and delicacies. That's why you can see many other visitors here.
How do they get it like that?
I know, probably they have to mix it up with some color-making ingredients. Before it's shredded into noodles like that, it's actually an enormous rice paper. They have like a whole stack with so many different colors. Don't do it too early, don't do it too late. Right there. Very good. All right, roll it and then put it right here. And then right over here, like after the mixture that is done very finely from those grinding machines, and she's gonna bring it over here, and then you have like the whole system here that is supposed to be steaming up or cooking up all of the rice papers for you to try.
I saw that, but I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
So smoky in here too.
Okay.
Put it down, roll it, and then lift it up. Just like that.
Heavy. I feel like I'm gonna break it. There we go.
Good job, Madi.
Not really. Look at his. His isn't wrinkled. Mine's wrinkly.
There's one thing that's called a delicacy of this place, and that is a pizza.
Ooh.
A pizza that's made of noodles, and all the noodles are actually produced by this shop too.
Okay.
Right? I don't know what it tastes like, but it seems like everybody that comes here has to try that one out.
There's so many different kinds of ingredients. Pork, shallots, the sauce, and it looks like there's an egg omelet on top. So it looks really good. I'm gonna taste it now. The crunchiness gives it a really great texture. And then like the flavors, it's pretty intense. Like it's very powerful. So you get the meat, which is pretty forward, but then the next thing that I think you taste is the peanuts and then the sauce. So the peanuts are really great on top, and it complements everything very nicely.
Right.
Really quickly, I do want to say this would be a really great drinking food.
Right.
I think this would be perfect with like a beer or some soju.
Hello.
Hello. What kind of lying position is this?
Look at any of your leftovers.
You're absolutely adorable. Look at that. Oh.
In the next video, we'll continue our trip to the next province named Ho Yang. In that video, we're going to see this bamboo village that just popped up as a new hidden gem with serene walk paths.
We had to take shelter. I thought David could ride us fast enough to the hotel because we were only like 5 minutes away.
And if you liked our adventures in Can Tho, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to keep up with all of our future trips in Vietnam. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again.